country rock singer died after the experimental plane he was piloting crashed into the Pacific just after takeoff.
I'm not sure you recognize the gentleman on my right. He's my father, Dutch Dutchendorf. He's been a pilot all his life. He taught me how to fly.
For 27 years, fans have held on to rumors, ideas, and half-truths about the abrupt and terrible death of John Denver. But now, after new reports, old testimony, and investigative files that had been hidden for a long time have come to light, the enigma has now been solved. And what really happened in 1997 is much worse than anyone could have anticipated. This wasn't meant to be. This wasn't meant to happen. It was a sad series of blunders that could have been avoided, warnings that were disregarded, and a heartbroken last moment that impacted music forever. Stay with me. This story needs to be told. Before we go on, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. John Denver was more than just a musician. He spoke for nature, peace, hope, and wide open sky in America. He sold more than 33 million albums and won 12 gold records and 4 platinum albums, making him one of the most popular singer-songwriters of the 20th century. His songs, such as Country Roads, Annie's Song, Rocky Mountain High, and Sunshine on My Shoulders, were more than just tunes. They were recollections. They were at home. But the guy behind the soft voice was dealing with mental storms, personal darkness, and the heavy weight of fame. And in the last years of his life, the stress on him was worse than anyone knew. In 1997, John Denver was attempting to start over, get back to what he loved, and get over his heartbreak. He thought that flying meant being free, a letting go, a location where the world became calm, a childhood full of movement. Henry John Deutschendorf Jr. was born on December 31, 1943, in Roswell, New Mexico, which is known for its own mysteries. His father, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Deutschendorf Sr., was a renowned pilot in the U.S. Air Force. He was tough, disciplined, and emotionally distant. The family relocated all the time: New Mexico, Arizona, Alabama, Texas, because of military orders that changed their life. John felt that he didn't belong anywhere because he was continuously moving about. Ironically, his love of landscapes, endless deserts, huge plains, and wide open skies grew because he was always on the move. Later, these pictures helped him become known as America's folk poet. His relationship with his dad was hard. Henry Sr. pushed him all the time, sometimes until he was emotionally drained. Years later, John said, "I never felt good enough. He loved me, but he couldn't show it." John's grandmother gave him his first guitar when he was 11 years old. It was a modest acoustic guitar that would change the direction of music history. That instrument was his safe place, his diary, and his home. Music was the only thing that stayed the same for him as the world changed around him, becoming like John Denver. John had a hard time in school at Texas Tech University, but he did well in music. He left school and moved to Los Angeles with only a guitar, a suitcase, and a dream. He chose the stage name John Denver during this time to honor the state he loved long before he moved there. He played in coffee shops, slept on floors, and made demo cassettes that no one listened to. He never stopped writing, though. In 1969, he got his big break with the song "Leaving on a Jet Plane," which he almost gave away. Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded it, and it became their first and only #1 hit, selling millions. No one in the world knew it yet, but a new American icon had just been born. He quickly signed with RCA Records and started making the warm, heartfelt music that would become the 1970s folk movement's signature sound. Critics said he was too gentle, too soft, and too pure. but the people didn't agree. His voice wasn't very loud. It was like a friend showing you how beautiful the world can be when it's calm. 10 years of great hits. John Denver owned the 1970s. Take Me Home, Country Roads, is now in the Library of Congress National Recording Registry. Rocky Mountain High became the official state song of Colorado. Annie's Song was written in just 10 minutes on a ski lift. Thank God I'm a Country Boy was a #1 hit that became a cultural anthem. Sunshine on My Shoulders topped the charts and made millions of people feel better. He sold out arenas all over the world, played with symphonies, was in several TV specials, and became one of the most popular artists in the U.S. In 1974, he was named the most popular artist in the U.S. He earned the CMA Award for Entertainer of the Year in 1975. But there were problems with success. John became quite famous, but he also felt a lot of pressure. The press made fun of his idealism. Music critics said he was too wholesome for the changing culture in the United States. But he kept writing songs about love, nature, optimism, and people, refusing to let his pessimism harden him. He wasn't just singing. He was getting better. Acting, activism, and a global stage. John Denver didn't only want to make music, he wanted to make a difference. He was in Oh God with George Burns in 1977. The movie made more than $51 million, which showed that he could do well outside of music. His inherent appeal made him one of the most famous faces in American entertainment. But his impact was much bigger. Denver became a passionate activist. He started the WinStar Foundation to help the environment, worked as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, fought for solutions to world hunger, fought for conservation and wildlife protection, testified before Congress against music censorship, and supported NASA and space exploration, even hoping to go into space himself. He was more than just a performer. He spoke for the Earth. But this promise took a toll on him, both mentally and physically. John felt that the world was taking over his life the more he contributed to it. He was famous, yet advocacy was something he did discreetly. His songs got deeper. His heart felt heavier. The poet from Colorado. John didn't only go to Aspen, Colorado for the lifestyle. It was meant to be. He created a house in the middle of tall mountains, pine forests, and rivers that calmed his restless mind. He wrote a lot of his best tunes in Aspen. He found himself again there. Colorado loved him too. He was elected Colorado's official poet laureate in 1974. Rocky Mountain High became the state's official anthem in 2007, 10 years after he died. This showed how much he had affected culture. Even now, Colorado newspapers proclaim Denver the musical heart of the Rockies. But behind the beauty was a man who was fighting loneliness and emotional turmoil. His marriage was falling apart. Fame made him feel alone, and his hard job kept him away from the house he loved. He got well because of nature, but it couldn't keep him safe from anything. Annie, his first muse, his first heartbreak. John met Annie Martell in the middle of the 1960s, before he became famous. Their love was innocent, young, and very strong. Annie kept him grounded, gave him ideas. He was saved. Annie's song, which she wrote in 10 minutes after feeling very grateful, became one of the most famous love songs of all time, reaching the top of the charts in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. The couple took in 2 kids, Anna, Zachary, John, Kate. John used to say, "Let me tell you the best thing about me. I'm a dad to some kid, but the stress of being famous, touring all the time, and being emotionally distant hurt their marriage." The divorce in 1982 was hard and public. John sliced their bed in half with a chainsaw, which shocked fans. He subsequently said, "I was so lost. I didn't know how to be both a husband and a famous person at the same time. Their love made him music, but it couldn't handle the whirlwind of fame." Cassandra, a second chance that didn't work out. John fell in love again after years of recovering from his emotional wounds. This time, it was with Australian actress Cassandra Delaney. They dated for 2 years before getting married in 1988. They had a daughter together, Jessie Belle Denver, who was born in 1989. For a while, it seemed good. But things fell apart swiftly below the surface. They broke up in 1991 and got divorced in 1993. John later recalled, "She made a fool of me all the way across the valley." Cassandra, on the other hand, said that the marriage was suffocating. Their love wasn't the tranquil place John needed to be. This second failure hurt him severely. It made songs that were sad, lonely, and full of regret. By the middle of the 1990s, John Denver was looking for purpose again, not only in music but also in life. He found freedom in flying. The sky seemed honest, open, and forgiving. He didn't know that would be the end of everything, too. The pilot, a man who can't get enough of the sky. Before he was famous, John Denver looked up to his father, a decorated Air Force colonel who set records in aviation. John got that love from his father and went on to become a great pilot himself. He owned several planes, flew extensively, and often said that flying was the closest thing to prayer. But many who know a lot about flying were worried. John had a history of flying in little planes that were dangerous, almost crashing, and making bad choices. Police took away his pilot's license in 1994 after he was arrested for DUI, saying it was for safety reasons. He was flying again by 1997, but only in experimental planes, which required extra care. His friends told him to be careful. He was told by mechanics. Other pilots were apprehensive that he didn't take the hazard seriously enough, but John thought flying was a kind of therapy that gave him the freedom he couldn't find on the ground. He lost everything because of his belief. October 12, 1997, the day everything went wrong. At 5:28 p.m., John Denver took off from Monterey Peninsula Airport in his new plane, a Rutan Long EZ. This experimental home-built jet is recognized for its unusual design. The sky was clear. The sea was calm. There was no alarm that worked. But just a few minutes after takeoff, the plane fell into the Pacific Ocean. People who saw the plane immediately roll, dive, and spiral. Someone stated it fell like a rock dropped from the sky. John Denver died right away. He was 53 years old. Early reports said it was pilot error. But the truth was much worse. The fuel valve disaster. The investigators quickly found out the terrible truth. The fuel selector valve, which is very important for switching fuel tanks, was behind the pilot instead of in front of him. John had to twist his body, swivel around, and pull on a strong lever that was behind his left shoulder to get to it. Later, experts put the moment back together. He reached back to switch tanks. The plane jerked to the left. He lost control. The plane stopped working. It was over in less than 3 seconds. This wasn't being careless. There was a defect in the design that should never have happened. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, officially said the placement of the fuel selector valve was a major factor. John had even said something bad about its design weeks before, but no one made it better. He wasn't warned, and no one stopped him from flying a plane that was known to have problems with getting into the cockpit. This wasn't meant to happen. This could have been stopped. Emotional upheaval behind closed doors. Before he died, John Denver was having a lot of problems that the public didn't completely see. 2 marriages that didn't work out. Legal problems. Arrests for alcohol-related crimes. Feeling more and more alone. Pressure from waning celebrity, emotional weariness. Later, friends said he was deeply sad, isolated, and looking for meaning. His music changed to reflect this change. Songs became more introspective, melancholy, and sorrowful. The truth about the mystery. A badly constructed aircraft, a gasoline valve that was too close to the ground, a pilot who wasn't given enough information, safety warnings that were ignored, an inspection that was too quick, a cockpit layout that was wrong, human error, emotional distractions, and an accident that may have been avoided. John Denver didn't die because he was careless. The system surrounding him let him down, and he died. The NTSB said, the accident probably wouldn't have happened if the valve had been put in a place that was easy to get to. That one line changes everything. This wasn't meant to be. This flight was not going to crash. The pilot didn't make a mistake. This was a tragic failure of safety and engineering. John Denver deserved more. The world should have had better. And now, finally, the truth is out. If John Denver touched your heart, even once, tap the like button. Subscribe for more emotional celebrity stories. And tell us in the comments, which John Denver song lives in your memory forever?